At the altar, surrounded by the entire village, the wealthy and arrogant Alexander committed an unforgivable sin. He publicly humiliated his bride, Eleanor, and her parents for their simple appearance, boasting of his own superiority. In that moment, Eleanor made a choice that shocked everyone. Welcome to Tales by Khomen, where old African stories are reborn. If this story touches your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, so the fire of our stories keeps burning bright. Sit close and let the story begin. In a great village by the flowing river, there lived a young man named Alexander. He was the son of Chief William, the richest chief in the land. Alexander wore clothes of the finest silk and thought he was better than everyone else. His heart was filled with pride, like a pot filled to the brim with water. He was to be married to a kind and gentle woman named Eleanor. Everyone called her Ellie. On their wedding day, a huge feast was held under the great baobab tree. There was music, dancing, and so much food. Alexander stood up to make a speech. But Alexander did not say kind words. He turned to Ellie's parents, Benjamin and Claire. He pointed at them and laughed a mean laugh. "Look at Benjamin's simple robe," he shouted. "And look at Claire's plain dress. They are an embarrassment to my great family. They are not good enough for me." His rich friends who always followed him started to laugh and point too. The music stopped. The happy noise turned into a scary silence. The villagers could not believe their ears. They felt a cold chill in the air. Ellie felt her heart break into 1,000 pieces. She saw the hurt and shame on her parents' faces. She looked at Alexander, who was still laughing, and she saw that his handsome face was a mask hiding an ugly heart. Her sadness turned into a strong, brave fire inside her. She stood up. Her voice was quiet, but everyone heard it. "Alexander," she said, "the only embarrassment here is you. You have a rich man's gold, but a poor man's character." Then she did something that made everyone gasp. She walked away from the man she was to marry. She went to her mother and father, who had their heads bowed in shame. She gently held their hands and helped them stand up straight. "Come, mother. Come, father," she said, her voice full of love. "We will not stay where we are not valued." And with her head held high, she led them away from the crowd, away from Alexander, and into the twilight. Alexander's laughter died in his throat. He was left alone, his mouth open in shock. Ellie and her parents did not go to a small hut. They walked past the village, through a secret path in the forest, and into a hidden grove. In the middle of the grove stood a magnificent compound. The walls were high and clean, with beautiful carvings of animals and spirits. This was their real home. Benjamin was not a poor man. He was the keeper of the sacred grove, a wise spiritual leader who all the chiefs listened to. His wealth was in wisdom and the respect of everyone, which was more valuable than 1,000 cows. Inside his home, Benjamin's face was serious. "Alexander has crossed a line that cannot be forgiven," he said, his voice low and strong. "He has trampled on our dignity." Claire, who was also very wise, nodded. "That boy is blind. He sees only the container, not the precious water inside." Ellie cried tears of anger. "I thought I could help him become a better man," she whispered. "I was wrong." Her father shook his head. "No, my daughter. Your heart is good and sees the best in people. But a crooked tree needs a strong wind to straighten it. I will be that wind." The next day Alexander was still angry. He could not believe Ellie had left him. He decided to tell lies to make himself look good. He went to the village market and spoke to everyone. "I am the lucky one," he declared. "I almost married a woman from a worthless family. Her father is a nobody. Her mother is simple." He spread these nasty words like a farmer planting bad seeds. He wanted to hurt Ellie and her family even more. Benjamin and Claire heard about this. They watched from their grove as Alexander's lies grew. Benjamin's mind was made up. "Alexander has poked a sleeping lion with a short stick," he declared. "And now he will feel the lion's claws. He does not know the enemy he has made. I will teach him what it truly means to have nothing." Benjamin did not fight with swords, that he went to a quiet place in the sacred grove. He lit a small fire with special herbs and spoke to the ancestors and the spirits of the land. He did not ask them to hurt Alexander. He asked them to teach him a lesson. "Great spirits," he prayed, "please show this proud young man the value of a hard day's work. Let him feel the weight of the wood he has never carried. Let him know the taste of plain water when he is truly thirsty." The spirits listened. The wind whispered through the trees, carrying his request. Slowly things began to change for Alexander. The farmers who sold yams to his family started to avoid him. The fishermen who gave his family the best fish now said they had nothing. The earth itself seemed to turn away from him. But Alexander was too proud to notice. He thought it was just bad luck. He did not know that the spirits were already beginning their work, teaching him the first lesson of humility. Benjamin, as keeper of the sacred grove, had great influence. He spoke to the other chiefs and village leaders. He told them the truth about Alexander's cruel heart. The leaders were angry. They respected Benjamin greatly. One by one, they started to take their business away from Chief William's family. A chief who was building a new house canceled his order for their special wood. Another chief who bought many cows from them decided to buy from another family instead. Then, the village elders who had lent Alexander's family a large sum of money asked for it back. They said, "We cannot do business with a family that has such a bad character." Alexander had to pay back the money, but he did not have enough. He had to sell some of his family's beautiful land for a very low price. A mysterious trader who was a friend of Benjamin bought the land. Alexander was confused. Why was everything going wrong so quickly? Alexander's father, Chief William, was a good man who believed in honesty and hard work. He heard about the wedding speech and he was very ashamed. He called Alexander to his hut. "My son, what have you done?" he asked, his voice sad and angry. "I told you that pride is a disease that eats a man from the inside. You humiliated a good family, and now the whole village is turning against us." Alexander did not listen. "They are just simple people, father. They do not matter," he said. Chief William's eyes grew dark with disappointment. "You are a foolish boy. You think because we have many cows we are strong. But our true strength is in the respect of our neighbors. You have broken that respect." He took away Alexander's special gold bracelet, a sign of his importance. "You are no longer my representative," he said. This was the first time Alexander felt a flicker of fear. Soon, Alexander had no money left. The family's wealth was gone because no one would trade with them. His rich friends saw that he was in trouble and they all left him. They did not invite him to their feasts anymore. He had to leave his big, beautiful house. He had nowhere to go. He was forced to take a job that no one wanted, working in the village quarry, breaking big rocks into small stones. The work was very hard. The sun was hot. His soft hands, which had never done hard work, became covered in painful blisters. His back ached every day. He was paid only a few small coins, enough to buy a little food. He had to move into a small, empty hut with a leaky roof at the edge of the village. He slept on a thin mat on the hard floor. At night, he heard the sounds of the village, laughter and music, but he was all alone. He was too proud to ask for help. One night, after a long, hard day at the quarry, Alexander sat in his dark hut. He was hungry and cold. He had only a piece of dry bread to eat. As he sat there, he thought about Ellie's parents, Benjamin and Claire. He had mocked them for their simple clothes, but they had always been kind and dignified. He thought about the other workers at the quarry. They were poor, but they were strong, honest, and shared their small meals with each other. For the first time, Alexander saw the truth. He realized that these people, whom he had thought were beneath him, had a strength and goodness that he lacked. They had dignity. He had none. He was the one who was weak. This thought was like a lightning bolt in his heart. He put his face in his hands and cried. He cried for his cruelty, his pride, and the good life he had thrown away. It was not a cry of self-pity but of true, deep regret. The next day, Alexander saw an old woman struggling to carry a heavy pot of water. Before he would have walked past her. But today he stopped. "Grandmother," he said softly, "let me help you." He carried the heavy pot all the way to her hut. The old woman was surprised. "Thank you, my son," she said. "The spirits have softened your heart." Her kind words made him feel both good and ashamed. He started to apologize to people he had mistreated. He saw a young boy he had once shouted at for accidentally dirtying his robe. He went to the boy and said, "I am sorry for my anger. It was wrong." The boy just smiled and ran off. Alexander felt a little weight lift from his shoulders. He knew he had to do the hardest thing of all. He had to apologize to Ellie and her family. He was afraid, but he knew it was the right thing to do. Meanwhile, Ellie was living in the beautiful sacred grove. She was not sad. She helped her father, Benjamin, with his work, advising people who came with their problems. From her peaceful home, she sometimes heard news about Alexander from her friend, a young woman named Sophia. Sophia told her how Alexander was now breaking rocks in the quarry and living in a poor hut. Ellie felt a touch of pity for him. She told her father, "Perhaps he is learning the lesson he needed to learn." Benjamin nodded. "The fire of hardship can burn away the dirt of pride. We shall see if there is any pure metal left underneath." Ellie wondered if the man she once loved was still there, hidden under all that pride. She decided that if he truly changed, she might be able to forgive him. Alexander gathered all his courage that he washed his face and put on his cleanest, though very simple, robe. He walked to the path that led to the sacred grove. He was stopped at the entrance by a guard. "I am here to see Benjamin and Claire," Alexander said, his head bowed. "I am here to see Eleanor. I wish to apologize." The guard went to deliver the message. After a long wait, the guard returned. "They will see you," he said. Alexander's heart was beating like a drum. He walked into the grove and saw the beautiful compound. He saw Benjamin and Claire sitting calmly. Ellie stood nearby. He fell to his knees before them, as was the custom for showing great respect. He could not even look them in the eye. Alexander spoke from his heart, his voice was shaky. "Benjamin, Claire, Eleanor, I'm so sorry. I was a fool. My pride made me blind. I thought I was better than you because of my wealth. But now I have nothing and I see clearly. You have a dignity and strength that I can only dream of. I understand now what I lost. I'm not asking for my old life back. I am only asking for your forgiveness." He told them about breaking rocks in the hot sun. He told them about his hungry nights in the small hut. "I deserved it all," he said. "It taught me what it means to be a real man. A real man is kind, humble, and respectful, no matter if he has 1 cow or 100 cows." He finally looked up at them, his eyes full of tears. Benjamin and Claire saw that his apology was real. Chief William had also heard about Alexander's apology that he came to the sacred grove to see for himself. He saw his son on his knees, speaking with a humble heart. Chief William was surprised and a little hopeful. He spoke to Alexander. "My son, it seems you have learned a great lesson. The village needs strong workers. You can come back and work for our family again. You can have your old life back." Everyone waited for Alexander's answer. This was the test. Would he choose the easy way back to wealth, or had he really changed? Alexander looked at his father, then at Benjamin and Ellie. "Thank you, father," he said. "But I cannot. I need to build my own life with my own hands. I need to prove to myself that I can be a good man without my father's name." Chief William was amazed. For the first time, he felt proud of his son's character. Alexander went back to the quarry, but now he worked with a new purpose. He became friends with the foreman, a smart and hard-working man named Samuel. Alexander told Samuel his idea. "Samuel, you know how to build strong houses. I know how to manage things. Let us start a new business together. Let us build good, simple houses for the workers in the village, houses that do not leak and are safe." Samuel agreed. It was a good idea. Alexander worked even harder at the quarry, saving every small coin he earned to start this new business. He and Samuel became partners. They called their new business the Stone Builders. Alexander did not use his father's name for help. He wanted to earn his success honestly. Alexander and Samuel built their first house for an old couple whose hut had been destroyed in a storm. They worked from sunrise to sunset, cutting wood, mixing mud, and laying stones. Alexander's hands, now rough and calloused, worked as hard as Samuel's. He did not complain. He was happy to be doing good work. When the house was finished, the old couple was so happy they cried tears of joy. "Thank you, my sons. May the ancestors bless you," they said. Alexander felt a happiness he had never known before. It was not the empty happiness of showing off, but the deep, warm happiness of helping others. He knew he was on the right path. The story of the kind stone builders spread to other villages. People saw the strong, good house they had built. They saw that Alexander, who was once so proud, was now a humble and hard worker. Soon, Alexander and Samuel had many requests to build houses. They hired other workers from the village and paid them fairly. Their business grew and became successful. Alexander was now earning his own money, but he lived simply. He did not buy silk robes or gold bracelets. He saved his money to buy more materials for building houses. He had found his true calling. He was proud of his work, but it was a quiet, good pride, not the loud, boastful pride he had before. One day, Ellie was walking through the village to visit a friend. She saw Alexander at a building site. He was carrying a heavy load of stones on his back. He was sweating and covered in dust, but he was smiling and talking kindly to the other workers. She saw that his smile was now genuine and warm, not a cold, proud smirk. He saw her and stopped. He did not run to her. He simply bowed his head in respect. "Good day, Eleanor," he said softly. "Good day, Alexander," she replied. She saw the change in his eyes. They were kind and clear. She saw the strength in his body earned through honest work. The anger in her heart finally melted away, replaced by a new feeling of respect. Ellie went to the building site a few days later. She wanted to talk to Alexander. "You have built a good business," she said. "I am impressed. You are not the man I left at the wedding." Alexander put down his tools. "Thank you, Eleanor," he said. "I'm not that man. I'm sorry for the pain I caused you. You were brave to walk away. You taught me the most important lesson of my life." They talked for a long time. Alexander told her about his dreams for his business, to build a better village for everyone. Ellie told him about her work helping people in the grove. They found that they shared the same hopes for their community. It felt like they were meeting for the first time. Alexander asked Ellie if he could visit her in the sacred grove sometimes to talk. Ellie agreed. Slowly they became friends. They talked about their lives, their dreams, and their mistakes. Alexander never asked Ellie to love him again. He just wanted to be near her and show her that he had changed. He respected her and her family completely. One evening, as the sun was setting, Alexander turned to Ellie. "I know I do not deserve it," he said, "but I have never stopped loving you. My love is different now. It is not about what I can take but what I can give. I love the person you are, your kindness, your strength, your good heart." Ellie's heart was full. She saw that his love was real this time. Ellie spoke to her parents. "Mother, father," she said, "Alexander is a changed man. His heart is good. I love him again, but it is a new love for the man he has become." Benjamin and Claire looked at each other. They had seen the change in Alexander. They saw his hard work and his humility. Benjamin nodded. "The debt is paid," he said. "The lesson has been learned. He has rebuilt himself, which is harder than building a house. He has our blessing." Alexander also went to his father, Chief William. "Father, I wish to marry Eleanor with your blessing and the blessing of her parents." Chief William was filled with joy. "My son, you have become a man I am truly proud to call my son. You have my full blessing." Alexander did not have a ring of gold or a precious gem that he went to Ellie and gave her a small, smooth stone he had found at the quarry when he first started his new life. It was gray and ordinary, but he had polished it until it was shiny. "This stone reminds me of the day my old life ended and my new life began," he said. "It is simple and strong like the love I have for you. Eleanor, will you marry me?" Ellie took the smooth stone and held it tightly. It was more beautiful to her than any diamond. It was a symbol of his journey and his change. Her eyes shone with happy tears. "Yes, Alexander," she said. "I will marry you." Their second wedding was very different from the first. It was not a huge feast for the rich. It was a small, happy celebration in the village clearing. Only their families and true friends were there. The guests were the quarry workers, the farmers, and the villagers who had seen Alexander change. They ate simple, good food and danced to joyful music. Chief William stood to officiate the wedding. Samuel, the foreman who had become Alexander's best friend, stood beside him as his best man. It was a wedding filled with genuine love and joy, not show-off wealth. Everyone could feel the happiness in the air. Alexander and Ellie stood before their families and friends. They made their own vows. Alexander said, "I promise to always see the beauty in your spirit, not just your face. I promise to be your partner, to listen to you, and to respect you all the days of my life." Ellie said, "I promise to walk beside you, to support your dreams, and to love the good man you have chosen to be." They exchanged rings made of a strong, simple metal from the village. The rings were not fancy, but they were a perfect symbol of their strong and simple love. They were not marrying for money or status. They were marrying for love, respect, and shared values. The wedding reception was held in the community center that Alexander and Samuel had helped to build. Everyone helped to bring food, a yam from one family, some fish from another, sweet fruits from a third. It was a feast shared by everyone. The children played, the elders told stories, and the whole village danced together. Alexander and Ellie danced in the middle of the circle, surrounded by the people who loved them. They were not above anyone, they were a part of the community. Benjamin Prescott watched his daughter and her husband, and his heart was full of a deep, quiet pride. He was proud of the man Alexander had become. The moral of the story spread far and wide. Pride is a heavy burden that leaves you with nothing. Humility is a light load that fills your life with everything that truly matters. Alexander learned that a man's worth is measured by his character, not his cows. Ellie learned that true love requires respect and dignity. And so, in the great village, the story of the price of pride was told for generations. It taught children to be kind, to work hard, and to always remember that the sun shines on everyone equally, the rain waters every field, and every person, rich or poor, deserves to be treated with respect. And that is the greatest wisdom of all.